where you have an up and down control to slowly lower Bun, I think his name actually is, onto the currently selected object. And
Oh yeah.
I will say I was actually impressed at let's say the distortion physics implemented in this game.
Yes.
The animation is very well done in that as you use each object, the illustration of Bun kind of shape around it in a way that there's no clipping. It's better than most AAA games in that way.
Hello and welcome to Can't Put It Down. It is an audio LAN party. I am Matt and I use he, him pronouns.
Hi, I'm also Matt, and I also use he, him pronouns. But for the TWG Discord, you might recognize me as Ponk as well.
Yes. Thank you, Ponk, for agreeing to do this stupid thing with me.
Of course, I love to do stupid things. Thank you for thinking of me when you thought stupid thing.
If I just want to say up front, if you're hearing this preview on the main feed and you want to hear the rest of the episode, you get deep into it and go to the Ko-Fi page at ko-fi.com/Matt Horton. Any amount of a monthly subscription will get you access to this and some other stuff that's there too. Today, Matt and I are going to talk about gay games. I messaged you, I don't know, a few months ago, and I was like, hey, would you want to do a silly recording just about gay shit sometime? And you were like, yeah, I'm down.
Yeah, yes, comma, queen. That is, I believe, the appropriate response.
I think you had been talking about some RuPaul video game in Discord that day, and that's when I was like, I bet Ponk would love to record something gay.
I did jokingly submit to Video Game Podtimism I don't even know what the full name is, RuPaul's Drag Race Superstar. It's one of those microtransaction lovely games.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't even opened it, but they do commit to playing every game on the list, so I'm sorry, Chase. I'm really sorry.
In fact, talking about Chase, today we're going to borrow Video Game Podtimism's format, just completely whole cloth steal it. What we have done is that Matt and I have both played a smattering of games that are in some way gay, queer, trans in some way. They might feature queer characters, they might be about queerness, they might just be queer in form. But we have each played some group of these games, not shared between us, so I'm going to find out today. And then we've played a special game that both of us have played that we will talk about in the back half of the episode. And I guess with that, I'll let you talk about the gay games that you have played.
Sure. So I tried to go for a kind of interesting cross section, some of which have been either talked about on TWG shows or just suggested in the lovely Queer Plaza channel. Because when you want queer content, where else would you go but the Queer Plaza? So I had one or two games that I'd already played, or at least played some of. So I sort of went and did a little bit of a retrospective on, I think, the very first gay in any sense game I played, which was a visual novel from the early 2010s called Coming Out on Top, which is just a dating sim visual novel about a guy who's just come out to his friends and starts dating, so you can date the college professor or the cute jock or the nerdy one, or go on Tinder dates basically. And I think it was one of the very earliest kind of actively, openly, aggressively gay romance games. It also features adult outcomes, like most visual novels, where you reach the end of the relationship chain and you get to see a boob or whatever. So it had the equivalent of that, which was groundbreaking. It's not typically something you see depicted. And so that was very exciting and very risque for the very recently come out Matt brackets Australian.
I'm looking at the images for it, and the first thing I see is, just a bunch of shirtless guys, I think over portraits of themselves with clothes on, maybe?
Yes. So I have that website loaded as well. So for background, Coming Out on Top was made by Obscurasoft. who has just a number of other games that I have not played. I'm so sorry, but this one really stuck with me. So you've got your selection of main romance options, and then I believe a later update added sort of the swipe right for Tinder dates, which are these little mini scenarios with the gentlemen who still have their shirts on.
Mm.
This game also had revolutionary settings such as choose which ones have body hair. So you could really customize your experience.
You can customize the dates.
Yeah, so
like
basically
customize the other men.
the other men. So you can choose whether each of your prospective suitors has full body hair or is completely hairless, depending on preference, per individual. So you don't have to do an all or nothing approach. You can still keep variety, which
Interesting. I'm looking at a screenshot that says, "Ha, you piss faster than anybody I know."
it's very lighthearted, yeah.
Which I'm seeing, and I'm like, oh, that's in the bar. That's not in the sexual content later.
Yeah, it's very in your face. It's kind of goofy. There is one outcome, and I'll allow you to finish a drink of water before I say this. There is an outcome where you sort of don't go on a date and you're just sitting at home and end up fantasizing about dating and getting married to your goldfish.
Okay.
And there is an outcome image for that.
Okay.
I will leave it at that. Discover at your own peril. But yeah, it's very much just like, oh, here's a daydream, and then nah. The cool thing about this game was it was very actively updated in reaction to sort of community response.
Sorry, I have now seen the goldfish image.
Yeah. God bless Google. And you can only assume that is a look of delight on the goldfish's face.
Yes.
Yeah, so the game was developed in reaction to the community. So there was feedback. Initially, there was, I believe, a coming out story to the main character's parents that was maybe a bit heavy and was taken out. But then the community sort of came back and said, well, he doesn't come out at all to his parents. There is no outcome to that. And the game's called Coming Out on top. So like a more sort of lighthearted, sort of warm version of the coming out story was reintroduced. And yeah, so it's really cool that they were developing this game, sort of getting that live response from the community and sort of adapting it to make it the best experience for everyone. So I joked, but I think that is why things like the body hair options came in. It's just, everyone has different wants, different needs, different sort of backgrounds and experiences that might inform their desire or lack of desire for body hair. And so it's nice that everyone's covered in a game that is just, it's like, hey, it's funny to be awkward and gay.
I think Zeno said queers be making visual novels in Discord, and it looks like the prototypical gay visual novel.
Very much so, yeah. And it was nice, especially to have something that wasn't, we've all read, watched, experienced the tragic coming out story, the young heartbreak, the depressive of it all of early 2000s gay cinema. And I don't need that. Been there, done that. I want things that
live that shit.
Yeah, like, let's move on. What happens after that? Like, what is it like to just be a gay person or an older gay person or someone who's already in the relationship? So, or, just not tragic. It can be nice. Also, it's gay. It's right there in the name. So yeah, having this as the first sort of queer game that I experienced that was just like, hey, it's a good time out here. That was really nice.
Yeah. What else did you play?
What else did I play? For a bit of a flip, I also played a game that I had started several years ago and sort of circled back to live through the end, called The Missing, J.J. Macfield and the Island of Memory. So The Missing is a game by Swery, who many may know as the guy behind the Deadly Premonition games, and also, ironically, Tomba 2, The Evil Swine Return. Just for some variety. So The Missing is a game about J.J. Macfield, or McField, I'm not really sure, who is a woman going on a camping trip with her prospective girlfriend, Emily. And while they're on this little camping trip, they sort of reveal their feelings and share a lovely first kiss. And then when JJ wakes up in the morning, Emily has disappeared, has just vanished from the campsite. So after wandering off looking for her, JJ gets struck by lightning and then meets a doctor with a moose head who gifts her the power of invincibility, basically. She can't die, but she can get hurt real bad.
I'm gonna say it looks really gruesome.
It is a bit gruesome. It's done tastefully-ish.